want to make a little video about this. I mean, this is really big right now in the Black YouTube area um, about FBA's fundamental Black Americans, um, African Americans, and Pan Africans, and that segues into real, I mean, not real Africans, immigrants, and Black Caribbeans. Uh, my little background, I'm trying to make this video short. I'm trying to cover a lot. I'm 60 years old. I'm originally from New York, and I seen Jamaicans coming in the early 80s. They were cool. By the time the 90s came around, very arrogant. I worked and I lived around them. We never started anything with them. As a matter of fact, the generation before us tried to warn us about tried to warn us about Jamaicans because by that time we knew Puerto Ricans didn't like us. Every once in a while, you would have one that would hang with us or whatever, but for the most part, we didn't rock with Puerto Ricans. Not in New York. I think maybe Philly is the only place that Puerto Ricans and blacks got along, from what I have heard. So anyway, fast forward to the late 90s, 2000s, a lot of Africans start to come to New York. New York is the original melting pot with the same attitude, to the point where I just left them alone on a job and they got pissed off. You think I'm gonna kiss your butt? If you don't want to have anything to do with me, I'm gonna reciprocate. So anyway, now we went in this thing about Foundation Black Americans. Again, my little background is my father. I think I talked about this. My father said that his grandfather, my great great grandfather, he said was an Indian. And I was like, Dad, you can't really say that. He said, I can say whatever the heck I want to say. He showed me a picture of him. He must have been about 8 or 9, standing there with my great grandfather, who looked like a red Native American. And then you have indigenous black Native Indians. Those are the two from what I've seen. And I'm just spitballing. I'm not no historian on this. Black Indians, red Indians. Part of my father's family was red Indians. Okay, that's why he used to call himself a red Negro all the time. I always didn't wonder why, and then he showed me the picture. So, and there's big discussion about African Americans. Look, first of all, I lean on the side of what a lot of what Tariq Nasheed is saying. You want to call me a follower? Have at it. Who cares? Because when Dr. Claude Anderson started talking this in the 70s, you can't say nothing about that. So don't say Tariq Nasheed is the father, the inventor of foundational Black Americans. This was talked about in the 70s. And there were people talking about it before them. I did research. I forgot the name of the person. Matter of fact, there was a woman by the name of Barbara something who worked in the Clinton administration and the immigration. She was the commissioner of immigration who warned Black Americans about this mass illegal immigration, whether it was black or brown. It did not serve us. Okay, this was in like '94, somewhere around then. So is this thing going on about Africans and Caribbeans against Foundation Black Americans? And I believe that we did have a ethnogenesis, a new beginning. Nothing that we do here in American culture has it similar to African. Nothing we do. And then we say, well, that's part of white culture. No, that's part of American culture. Matter of fact, during slavery, our culture affected the white slave owners because we did everything. We cooked everything. We cleaned everything. So we did really the American Southern culture is black slave culture then, and it evolved to what it is now. That's my take on it. But still, we have a new beginning here. So when people say we should be called African American, do Jamaicans call themselves Jamaican Africans? No, they call themselves Jamaicans. And when they come here and get citizenship or whatever, they call themselves Jamaican Americans. They don't say I'm Jamaican African Americans. And then I think it was what's the pan scammer? I'm surprised I can't remember his name, but he was on a podcast talking about we should be called African Jamaicans, American Africans now. Just pulling something out of his butt. First, he was like, Black Americans start to disrespect Africans. Then he said it was both of them. Dude, I'm 60 years old. I seen this in the 80s and in the 90s. Black Americans never disrespected anybody. We opened our arms to everybody. But my generation, the generation before me, let too much of this disrespect slide. Let's look at the 1964 Immigration and Nationalization Act, which is part of the 1964 Civil Rights Bill. If it wasn't for that, and black people, especially in Harlem, in New York, clergymen, leaders, Adam Clayton Powell fighting for this, y'all wouldn't be here now, in theory. Maybe so, but you wouldn't have this bill to let a lot of y'all getting here. Show some respect. Like I say, I saw the disrespect. I'm from Jamaica, Queens, old doggone dollar van drivers and Jamaicans with that snotty, nasty attitude and always talking about Yankee. We're talking about grown people. We're not talking about kids. But that's cool because now we are delineating. We should have did this a couple decades ago. And if there's Jamaicans and Africans don't like it, fine. I'm not saying that they are. They might say, who cares? Good. When it comes to delineation, we delineate our dollars in Harlem, in Brooklyn, because our dollars in New York still drive a lot, especially when it comes to foreigners, immigrants, and the customer base, which is us, for the most part. Look what happened to Target. You think we can't make a difference? We shut it down, which we should. I know last year we had that. We're not buying nothing African and Jamaican in New York, Harlem, wherever, all over New York. We should continue that. Go to the soul food joint. All right? Go make your own food. So that's my little stick on it. I'm not going to be disrespectful like a lot of these YouTubers, like this Afro think tank, this fake African chief scammer, think he knows everything, cocky, always calling names like a petulant child. You listen to this guy, he just rambles on and on for like 20, 30 minutes. Go write a book. Be an instructor. Be a teacher. Because you can't know everything like you think you do. But that's my little stick on it. African Foundation of Black Americans, Black Americans. And we're coming to that realization. Some people try to say, well, 45% of us, 45 million African Americans still say they're African Americans. I don't think so. I'm not saying that all of Black Americans consider themselves foundational Black Americans as opposed to African Americans, but we are really leaning towards that foundational Black American slash Black American because it historically just is truth and it makes sense. There's nothing that we do. Yeah, our lineage is from Africa. That's our bloodline. We know this. That's the case. Everybody's from Africa. But our nationality, our color, our new beginning started here. So that's my little take on it. I didn't want to go this long. Outie.